That's what I'm talking about. Hey everyone, welcome to the HooperCast. I just want to say real quick that this episode, among all the things we talk about, we talk a good bit about Breaking Bad, and I dare say I think we spoil every single season of the show. So if you haven't seen Breaking Bad or you're not caught up, just be warned, there are spoilers present in the episode. Anyway, enjoy the episode, and thank you for listening.
Can't. Alright, I'm recording.
Me too. Okay.
Wait. Shit. Hold on.
I had an idea. I need it at some point, Dustin. I had an idea that we need to have at least one episode where we slate with a fart.
I
think it'd be great. Maybe it's just fun for me to edit.
It would have to be a very short and succinct fart.
Well, it would have to be on command as well. It
would have to be like burp.
What?
It couldn't be like burp.
Oh no, because just imagine how fun it'd be for me to edit if it's just like, if they're at a sink, it's like it's just like I'd be sitting there like, what the hell is happening? Kellen, are you?
I don't know.
Kellen, are you there?
Help.
Oh my god.
He's been eaten by the darkness.
This is such a train wreck.
It's gonna come up and be like, your friend is dead.
Kellen, are you there? Oh my god, I'm so scared.
He has become a midnight snack for me and my demons.
Kellen, what's happening? The cricket fan got him.
The big crickets know.
Kellen, did the crickets kill you?
Yeah, my computer it can't do it.
Oh.
Program.
Damn.
Is there an easier recording thing other than GarageBand? Because it's sort of sort of taxing on my computer.
The only other way, really, that I can think of is really if we just three-way called each other and recorded on phones and recorded on on Skype, or fuck, what's the software? GarageBand. Because then we can still have a three-way conversation and not have to worry about the internet. Full speed ahead. Hello everyone, welcome to episode 28 of the HooperCast. I am Hooper, and this is my cast. Welcoming back Kellen and Dustin from a little hiatus after some technical difficulties. Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi. I guess, I don't know, it's been a while since we podcasted in general, but I've seen a couple of movies since then that I wanted to briefly mention. Have you guys seen anything new?
I have.
What have you seen, Kellen?
Well, actually, one of them is not very new. I saw Ruby Sparks maybe like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, with Paul Dano and
Zoe Kazan.
Is that her name?
I remember because me and Sam talked about this, but what did you think of it?
I liked it. Well, speaking of what's her name, I went the entire movie thinking it was the Wendy's girl.
The Wendy's girl? Oh. I was like, I don't know which girl you're talking about.
like the girl that's on the Wendy's commercials.
Yeah.
No, I liked it. The only, not to get in a conversation about it, the only thing was weird was like, at the end of the movie, his character was still an asshole because he was going to pursue a relationship with her again without telling her the truth. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but that's another thing. I also saw Sleepwalk with Me, the Mike Birbiglia slightly biopic-y kind of story.
Yes. And
that was really good, actually.
Yeah, I wanted to see Sleepwalk with Me. It's playing at the Crescent Theater here in town. I think next week maybe. But I'm always working when it's playing, so I don't know if I will get a chance to see it. But it's good to know that it's a good flick.
Yep.
Quick thing actually about the Crescent Theater. It's weird because they started a Kickstarter because since the industry is phasing out film projection for theaters and stuff, or at least for most theaters, the Crescent has to get a digital projector, and that costs $75,000. So They started they had like 60 days to start Kickstarter before they have to close or whatever to raise that much money. So we ran a story on it or whatever, but they have like 58 days left and they already have like $35,000. And I was like, jeez. So I think they'll be okay. But I was sad for a little while because I was like, man, the Crescent's a great place. Like, I mean, Dustin, you've heard me talk about it several times on the podcast, and I've only been a couple times. I want to go more. And the thought that it would close, I was like, that would be sad. I don't want to see the experience of enjoying this art form die just like that, you know, just be phased out. It would have been so sad. So not there yet, but I think at this rate they'll be fine. There's a lot of, you know, well-to-do people who like to spend their time there and enjoy movies there. The kind of well-to-do person I'd like to be one day, you know.
Yeah.
So
when I grow up,
we just put ads on all the podcasts, and then before long you'll be a billionaire.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, I'm working on it. Hey, just a little update on the Crescent Theater. As of now, 12:35 a.m. on Sunday, September 23rd, the Crescent Theater has 55 days to go with their money, 548 backers, and with my own donation just now, they are now at $60,078, and they need to reach $75,598. So like a month and a half to go, about 15,000 more to go. I think they'll reach it, but just to update everybody, they have $60,000. So if you haven't donated and you want to donate, you can go to kickstarter.com/projects/Crescent Theater /Keep the Crescent, or just Google Crescent Theater Kickstarter, and it'll take you to the page, and depending on your donation, you'll get certain rewards, such as free movie passes, 35mm film, poster, t-shirts, VIP passes, a lot of good stuff in there. So you can decline the benefits and just help them out, or you can actually get a reward for your donation. But I think it's a pretty cool thing. I think it's pretty awesome that we can help the Crescent like this. So anyway, just thought I'd update you guys on how they were doing. But now back to the podcast and what Dustin has seen since we last spoke.
Yeah, I saw a couple movies since we last podcasted, but nothing like super recent. In fact, not recent at all. I'm on sort of this Billy Wilder kick, so I saw Sunset Boulevard. That's from 1950. A really solid film, like about a screenwriter who gets like in with the wrong people. And then a movie from 1957 called Witness for the Prosecution, which is based on an Agatha Christie novel, and it's pretty cool, like courtroom drama. And if you like old movies, if you can stomach them, check those out. They're really cool, really solid, like old character pieces and well-defined characters that I think are kind of lacking from cinema today. So anyway, yeah, check those out. If you get a chance, but yeah.
I saw Kevin Smith's Red State.
Oh, okay.
And boy, did I love it. It was really good. I
can't tell if you're sarcastic.
No. no. I actually really.
Boy, did I love it.
Yeah, boy, did I love that piece of shit. Rocco. It came on. I was talking to a coworker about how I wanted to see it, and then all of a sudden it just magically popped up on Instant, and I was like, huh. And I thought I was going to hate it because I'd heard that it was about, granted, I heard it was about like crazy Christians, but I thought it was going to be like this big anti-Christian film, and I was like, well, I'm not really into, an outwardly hateful film like that.
The good thing about it is it's bashing the crazy
right, like Fred Phelps and the Westboro Baptists and stuff. Yeah. So it makes a new branch of them and calls them something else, but it is by far my favorite of his films. I'm not really a fan of him, so perhaps that's easy to say. But even if you're a fan of his, I don't know how you couldn't say that this is the best of his films. It's the most well-made, like, just the way it's shot, the way it's directed. The acting is so good. Yeah. I would recommend this movie to anybody. I'd watch it again. It was just so damn good. And just... that church being the perfect villains. I think the guy's name is Michael Parks, who plays like the patriarch of all of them, and just such great acting. It's amazing. Wow, definitely recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Is it Anna Gunn in that?
For like a split second.
Oh, okay.
But yes.
I've seen it on Netflix Instant too, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll check that out, and then I don't. But now that I've heard someone say it's good, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's especially coming from someone who I really was sick of him. There was just you almost I don't know if anyone's ever said this before, but if you were to basically just being shown the movie and you have no idea what filmmaker's involved, you would never guess in a million years he directed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't have picked. I wouldn't have. It didn't have like a single. I say stink of him on it, like it's a bad thing, but like I didn't. There was no trace of him, and it was.
There was no woman doing a donkey show or whatever.
No, there's no donkey show. There's no. The point is, it's a really good movie, and I really had a good time watching it. So, yeah, good stuff.
Sweet.
Cool.
The other thing I saw was I just went down I just actually went browsing. Normally, I just look at the home screen of Netflix and I look at the recommendations and say, "Oh, thanks," and I'll grab something. I actually went browsing and I doubled the size of my instant queue. I have like 140 movies in there now. One of them was "Scent of a Woman," which sounds like a dirty movie. But it's if I can't remember what year it is, like 90 something, early 90s movie, or late 80s. I don't remember. Fuck. But it's
You paid some great attention.
It's the movie that got Al Pacino his Oscar, or he earned his Oscar in that movie, and he plays like a blind veteran, and it sounds like, oh, of course he played a blind veteran Oscar role. He's really good. Like Al Pacino, I haven't seen anything he's bad in. You could say Jack and Jill. Technically, I didn't see his role in Jack and Jill, so I wasn't subjected to that. But Al Pacino is one of those actors that is just I've never seen him in anything I didn't enjoy watching him in. He's so watchable. He's so good. He's amazing in this movie. It's really long, but it was good. I wouldn't watch it again because I watched it, I absorbed it. That's it. But wow, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Which is old news if you've seen it, when it actually came out. But since I can't peg down
from the 50s.
Well, but since I can't peg down a year, I don't know when it came out. I don't know if you were like 5 years old when it came out, or like your parents hadn't even boiked yet. So
hey, you can. It's more legitimate of an offering than I could do. I got accosted by a coworker yesterday who was pissed that I told him he should go watch Rocket Man with Harlan Williams. And,
dude, that's an awesome movie.
I know, but he came back and he told me that his friends all left because they hated the movie and were not having a fun time.
Well, he needs new friends.
I know. I told him, that is literally one of my top 2 favorite movies. So,
did he come to work like?
I don't know what that says
Cool
about
Runnings?
me. But behind Cool Runnings, correct.
I know you, Kellen.
You do.
Yeah.
I know you.
So I think Scent of a Woman from the mid-90s is an okay offering compared to that.
True.
Well, yeah. I would also recommend Rocket Man, though.
Hey, this doesn't have to go on the podcast, so I just want to ask Kellen a question.
Okay.
What's that?
If you listened to the last podcast, did you hear us talk about the Ninja Turtle movie?
Yeah, I did.
Have you heard any... Oh my god, that sounded so terrible. I know you like the Turtles.
Ugh. Like, why? It doesn't... I don't understand.
know, man. I don't know.
Like, there's nothing wrong with the Ninja Turtles mythos at all.
I know, for real. That's exactly what I'm saying.
If anything, the only reason stuff recently has sucked is because they tried to change it.
Yeah, exactly. Did you see in that 03 show where they made Shredder an alien? He was one of the Utroms or whatever, however you say those stupid things.
I don't want to talk about it.
I know, I hate that joke.
Yeah, all right.
Okay, anyway, moving on.
This isn't really a segment, but I'm going to do a really quick segment called Texts About Movies. Tara texted me today out of the blue and said, the text said, "Ugh, Hilary Duff. She looks and sounds stupid." And I couldn't stop laughing.
What was she watching?
She was watching The Ghost Whisperer.
I was going to say Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
Not the Lizzie
Like the only
McGuire
thing
movie?
I think she...
Come on.
Oh, dude, the Lizzie McGuire movie. I saw that in theaters.
Dude.
I kid you not. I saw that in theaters.
Do you think Gordo ever got out of the friend zone?
No, I think he's on meth.
Do you think Gordo?
That's kind of different.
Do you think Gordo ever left the rehab?
I totally didn't answer your question and just went around it and was like, here's another fact about Gordo.
I was like, well, I guess that's, if you're on meth, you don't really climb up the social ladder from friend zone to boyfriend. So
You might climb up some actual ladders, though,
Ooh.
quickly. That
What?
wouldn't really, that way, I don't know.
I don't.
Can you imagine, like, ladders, gotta climb them, go. Yeah.
Because I'm on meth.
I've
I gotta
obviously
dig a hole.
never been
Dig
on
a
meth
hole.
before. I don't know. Tucker! Anyway, well, Dustin, you said you wanted to briefly talk about Breaking Bad, as well.
Oh, I just said we could. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Well,
I
wait.
mean, the half season's over,
Yes.
and we're all caught up.
Yes.
And I was going to just try to get a feel for the way that you guys thought this first half played out.
Kellen?
I was overall pretty satisfied with the ending. I mean, I feel like they could have done more with the amount of episodes that they had to work with.
Mm-hmm.
And what I talked about with you, Dustin, over the I guess a weekend ago or so, was that this whole, like, how many episodes was it? 8?
8.
8. It seemed like they kept on, like, one episode would make you think the story was going to go one way, and then by the next episode, that plot line has either been killed literally or kind of like rerouted or something like that. Like, you think that they're going to have this long relationship overseas, like selling meth to what country was it?
The Czech Republic.
Is it,
The Czechs?
Czech Republic.
Yeah, and then like I guess they do that, but it's over the course of like a 2-minute montage.
Yeah.
So like, there's a lot of things where I was like, well, I wish they could have done more with the 8 episodes. But when it ended, it seemed like most of the stuff online was people bitching about how what kind of an ending is that to a season, and I'm like, well, technically it's a half season. The only reason that you're pissed is because you have to wait a bit longer, but the only reason they're doing that is because AMC wants more money to sell DVDs of a half season.
Exactly.
So it's not the writer's fault at all. It's if that had happened and they had to wait like a month, people would be on pins and needles saying, "Oh my God, Hank knows, this is great."
Yeah. I mean, when you think about season 4, like season 4 did sort of the same thing. It was very much like, okay, we need to pick up the pieces and move on, because season 3 ended with the cliffhanger of Jesse shooting Gale. And so the first part of season 4 was really picking up the pieces, and it was slow moving, just like I thought this was. I think what's throwing people is that the season ended, and they're feeling like maybe nothing happened. And to that, I just say, like, well, it's a half season. I expect, just like in season 4, things ramped up about halfway through. And so I feel like things are really gonna kind of heat up with this last 8 episodes, but I really don't know what direction they're gonna go in at this point.
I don't, when are they going to make that year jump forward?
Yeah, exactly.
But I think any dissatisfaction is mostly to do with people being upset, and they should be upset at the network for wanting to space it out like that.
True. Yeah. Yeah. What did you think, Hooper?
I thought it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited for the second half, and Breaking Bad's never disappointed me in terms of delivering on action or anything that I would want to see, and I have complete trust in Vince Gilligan and the writers to,
Me too.
Really bring it home. And I've just enjoyed, especially if you've seen that YouTube video, the Journey of Walter White, which was like a little masterpiece,
It was.
And I watch it. I've watched it multiple times. Like, I watch it anytime I'm just like, man, I want to watch something cool. I watch that again. Yeah. I've enjoyed watching the character grow, and I'd say grow. I mean, go through changes, and it's just a masterpiece of acting, writing, like at every level of, I'll say filmmaking, because of storytelling that you can possibly imagine. Is just the highest level of it. Dustin, you brought up, I mean, just little things in the show that, I mean, you could talk about Walter White's character like all day long, but little things you don't even realize are in the show. Like Dustin, you mentioned today that Walter White's car, you read things online about how it's symbolic of like his soul, right?
The Aztec.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of the big moments for Walt happened to that car. When he ran over the drug dealers in Half Measures. His when the planes crash, the debris falls on the car. The car gets smashed up and injured usually after Walt does something crazy, and it's symbolic of Walt's own soul being fractured at that point, and him changing, and so he undergoes like such a transformation that by the time season 5 rolls around, he doesn't have a place for that car anymore. In his life, Walt has taken the back seat, and Heisenberg is the new, character, really. And so he doesn't need that car anymore, and he goes and buys, this black, car, and we all know what black is symbolic for. And so anyway, he goes and buys a new car, and essentially gives the Aztec away for what, like $15 or something like that.
Yeah,
which I think
insane.
further shows how little regard he has for Walter White anymore, for the family man that he was. And so I think there's so much that goes into it. I saw a thing the other day that was about the color, that a lot of times if you look at what color a character is wearing, it often foreshadows things to come. It's not always the case, but sometimes a character known for the color yellow is danger. If you notice, whenever they shoot Mexico, there's a yellow tint over Mexico, to represent the danger that the cartel presents to Walt. And so it's a lot of stuff like that I think kind of goes over your head, and when you stop and think about it, you're like, it wouldn't work any other way, and all these pieces fit together, from production design, what kind of car does he drive, what kind of watch does he wear, it all just kind of fits together like a glove, and it's one of the only shows that I've seen that really feels so complete like that.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, the car metaphor. I just have to say, I think it's unfortunate that it culminated in one of my least favorite sequences of the 5th season was the ridiculous shots of the two new cars jumping back and forth between each other. It was literally all of a sudden Breaking Bad became an ad for whatever, I can't even remember what the two cars were, but
Chrysler, I think.
And it was jumping 2 frames back and forth between the two cars, and I was like, this is too much.
You know who directed that episode?
Who?
Ryan Johnson.
Really?
Yeah.
Pardon my
Looper.
lack of... Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I should tell... now I'm reconsidering seeing that movie.
Sequence
was
I remember,
Breaking Bad to me. It felt like...
Yeah, it did kind of jump out as sort of weird, but it's... Yeah, I don't know.
Well, in a way, to me, I think this whole season felt a little weird. And not necessarily in a bad way. I don't really have a problem with that scene. I think it was a little out of place maybe, but I don't really have a problem with it. But the whole season did feel a little different, and I think that's because we're seeing such a different character now, and when you think about, well, what are the things that the show is known for? Well, okay, first off, making meth. We actually see very little of that this season, or in these 8 episodes. What are the other things? Well, scientific, know-how, but we don't see any of that either. It's kind of, we haven't even seen a meth head in a long time. The show's definitely changed, and this whole season did feel different, but so has every season from the last. You know what I mean? There's no 2 seasons that feel the same. But yeah, I know what you're saying. That scene was a little product placement-y for my tastes.
But
yeah,
this season is different from others in that there's really has not for the first time in a while there hasn't been a situation where Walt is basically in constant fear for his life. For the first time he's on top. He's not really afraid for his safety anymor, and so he's sort of which he has been since the first season. He's he's afraid of he's afraid of dying because of the cancer, and then he's afraid of dying because of of Tuco, and then he's afraid of dying because of the twins, and he's afraid of dying because of Gus, and then he's even more afraid of dying because of Gus and everything that's happening around him, and now the next threat would have been the cartel, were he not the boss,
Right.
So I mean, I think I know what you mean, Dustin, because I was wondering when I started watching the season, like, it does feel like something's missing. What is it? And it is those things. It's the cooking and all the chemistry and stuff. But
Right.
So it does feel a little different. But I know Vince Gilligan has like a hyper focus on detail. He has like such a ridiculous attention to detail that I know that he realizes those things. Like I feel like he knows how people perceive the show, and how based on his intentions. I feel like of all like show creators, like what he wants to show you and what is shown to you are very much alike, if not exactly what he wanted. There's other shows where it doesn't work as well. I mean, Lost could be an example of that, where they had a concept, but then it turned out a little different than maybe they wanted it to go in the beginning. But with his episodes, he is the most meticulous, deliberate showrunner I think we've ever seen. And so when a season feels different, I have trust in him that it's because you're supposed to, and we've seen how incredibly subtle he is,
Right. This brings me to another point about the show, which I was watching a YouTube video the other day. It was the like Emmy Roundtable or whatever from this year, where they talked to the showrunners of some of the top shows. I don't think they were all Emmy nominated or anything, but just some of the top shows. And Vince Gilligan was one of them. And then the other shows represented were Boardwalk Empire, Grey's Anatomy, Walking Dead, Homeland, and The Killing. And the question was asked, how many of you know how your show is going to end? And out of all of those people, only Vince Gilligan raised his hand. He said, obviously at this point we just have broad strokes, but he's always had an image in his mind of what the end is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important, because if you don't know where you're taking your story, how can you get there? Mm-hmm. The woman that...
Go ahead. Sorry. Can you answer this question? Is the show ending because of creative reasons, like he wants to end it and he knows how to end it?
Yeah, yes and no. He wants to end it, and I think that's one of the big reasons why shows like that where they know how it's going to end up being better, because they're not just vying for more views and more money to extend the life of a show to the point where the ending is never going to feel good. Exactly. Well, I think it's a little bit of both. I think in a way they were sort of forced off the air. It feels like to me, by Mad Men and by Walking Dead. Breaking Bad and Walking Dead, they had their budgets cut last year in order to accommodate Mad Men's budget, and then this year they're giving more money to The Walking Dead, and because it's the highest rated cable television show of all time. But I think I kind of feel like they're being forced off the air a little bit. But I know that Vince Gilligan has said that it probably would have ended pretty soon anyway. And I know he negotiated with them to get the 16 episodes for the final season, so they were willing to work with him a little bit. But I do kind of feel like maybe he was forced off the air a little bit.
I have another question.
Okay.
It kind of feels like season 4, or wait, hold on a second. What are we in, season 5 right now?
5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. My brain. It seems like season 4 had such a great closing to the point where at the end of it seemed like there were just a couple of loose ends to tie up.
Right.
Was there a chance that was going to have to be the end and they got lucky and were told that they got 16 more episodes?
Yeah.
Yes. They basically told him, like, because they were cutting his budget and stuff, everybody was kind of scared that was going to be the end, that they were just going to kind of pull the plug there. And so I think that was sort of a safety measure, like, let's close off what we can. Mm-hmm. And so they did, and I feel like it was pretty complete. But so, you still have the lingering storylines with Hank and with Jesse, and there's going to have to be some sort of coming to a head of those stories. And so, But to answer your question, yes, I think that.
So if it came down to
it,
it and they had to end it at season 4, the big turn in Walter White's character would have been poisoning a child.
yes.
Eh.
I mean,
It's a good safety measure.
I think they. I mean, I know there's been talk of a movie or something like that. That may have been on their minds at that point. Like maybe we'll do a movie to wrap it up. I'm not sure, but anyway, yeah, that was supposed to be a safety measure for them. Cool. But going back to like the Emmy Roundtable, it doesn't even make sense to me that these other showrunners wouldn't know where they're going. On The Walking Dead, I can kind of give it a pass because it's based on a comic series, and that's not even over yet. But he mentioned that he knows he's going to have to kind of break off and do his own thing at some point. And it's sort of loosely based on what Robert Kirkman is writing. Because, I mean, obviously, even if the show lasts 10 years, which I doubt, I mean, shows never last that long, the comic is still going to be going on. So they're going to have to do something different. So anyway, that I can kind of give a pass. The woman who runs Grey's Anatomy, I can't think of her name offhand.
Shonda Rhimes.
Yes, that's it. She said that had the show ended in season 2, she knew how it was going to end. Had the show ended in season 8, she knew how it was going to end. I mean, I'm sorry, season 4, she knew how it was going to end. But now they're going into, I think, season 8, and she has no idea where they're going. So...
that just means to me, like, the person kind of lost interest in their vision and knew it was a cash cow, and they could ride it for a while.
Exactly.
Which who's to say they wouldn't do the same thing in that position? But like, it's kind of a bummer for the viewer where they think they're getting an extra treat by having the show be around longer, but it just kind of wanes and dwindles, kind of like
The Office.
To you, Dustin, The Office.
Oh, I hate The Office now.
Okay,
I watched
just
the premiere
ended it-
tonight and almost threw up like on several occasions. But yes,
I guess McShee going like, "This is terrible."
I was retching.
This is really semi-related, but like oddly enough, Cartoon Network likes to do that with their animated shows, and mostly it's a money kind of thing because they can just syndicate a show and keep it running for a while. But they usually limit most of their cartoon shows to 3 to 5 seasons.
Right. Yeah.
Like Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends was, I don't think it was highly popular with kids, but it's probably one of the highest quality shows that was on Cartoon Network for a long time.
Yeah.
And they, for no lack of quality reasons, ended it after 3 seasons.
Yeah, I think for Cartoon Network, part of it is also just trying to get the most shows they possibly can to sell as much merchandise as they possibly can.
Yeah.
Which is Craig, what's his name?
McCracken.
Craig McCracken. He left Cartoon Network after that, and he has a new show coming out on Disney, called Wonder Over Yonder. And anyway, hopefully they're going to treat him a little better over at Disney. Disney's sort of a powerhouse right now in animation. Phineas and Ferb is hugely popular, and they have Gravity Falls, which I enjoy, and then Craig McCracken's over there now too. So, not to mention they have Ultimate Spider-Man and the Avengers and whatnot on Disney XD and the Tron show. So they're kind of pumping out a bunch of good stuff right now.
Yeah, I'm totally like derailing this conversation by like, it's just like, oh, that reminds me of this. In other movie news, okay, you know how that like Hotel Transylvania movie is coming out?
Yeah.
I didn't have any interest in that until I found out, and I still don't know if I want to see it, but Gendy Tartakovsky is the director, and he did Dexter's Lab, he did Samurai Jack.
Yeah. He worked on Powerpuff.
Yeah, and he was joint with Craig McCracken on Powerpuff. Right. And it's like, how does something that trite and dumb looking with Adam Sandler voice acting the main character get directed by... he also did the Clone Wars cartoon, like...
the first Clone Wars.
But what I did read is that it wasn't like the main reason for him taking that job, but he's hoping that getting a bigger name for theatrical releases will allow him to do a Samurai Jack movie.
Oh yeah, cool.
He really wants to do that, apparently.
I think I would say I wish he would do a Dexter's Lab movie, but I know the woman that played Dexter in the early seasons, Christine Cavanaugh, has retired, so there goes that. And I think who played her after her? I mean, who played Dexter after her? Was it Nancy Cartwright?
The whole styling shift to digital?
Yeah, I hate that, man. I saw some of that on Boomerang the other day. I was like, this is bullcrap. I hate this show. Yeah. I hate that style change. But yeah, anyway. This is something I don't want to go into too much detail on at this point. But there's a show that I'm working on, that I'm writing on spec, and I just wrote the pilot. But and some people might argue that it's a little presumptuous of me to already have like an ending in mind for the show, but I think it's important to know where you're building, where you're going to take your character in the future. And so, I don't know if it's, obviously it would be presumptuous of me to say after 4 seasons this is going to happen, but considering most shows don't get 10 episodes, so but I think it's imperative to know where your character is going to end up, at least to have an image. And I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I do have a very clear idea of where I want my main character to end up, and I think that's what bugs me, but also really makes me loyal to Vince Gilligan, is that he knows what he's doing, and so yeah, all of that was a roundabout way of praising Breaking Bad.
That I just tried so hard to ruin.
Way to go, Kellen.
But you couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, could you?
No, it's just like, I have things to say. I have to say them.
No, that was good. No, I enjoyed the derailing.
You can obviously tell we don't really have liner notes right now.
No, but I think it worked out really well because we touched on a whole ton of topics right there.
Yes.
In a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I can't wait for the show to finish so I can have it in complete. I mean, there's people, I've already talking to a couple people who are actually just now getting into the show, and they're like, I'm on this episode. No, I can't. They're like, I'm like in the middle of season 3. I can't imagine it getting any more intense. I'm like, oh, well, just wait.
Hold on to your underwear.
Yeah.
Although I will say,
hold on to your butts.
That there hasn't been nearly as cool a moment as Walt throwing down the that explosive material that he had in Tuco's
that was cool
penthouse. Well, I don't think Walt's done anything like badass and brave like that since. Like, he's done blowing people up and stuff, but that still sticks out as like one of the coolest things he's done, and that was season 2, right? Or 1?
Well, that was 1, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Kellen.
Yeah, me too.
That's
when he runs over the drug dealers in Half Measures was a big one.
but he's in a car. I'm just saying, like brave. Like, he was in a car. It's a lot easier to hit someone with a car than it is to take an explosive and throw it on the ground at your feet in front of people with guns.
I suppose. I'm also thinking about just overall impact that it had on me, like, as I was watching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Some big moments for me were. Where I had to like stand up because I couldn't sit down anymore. Were that one you mentioned? The moment where Hank shot one of the twins and the bullet went through the guy's skull. That was a big one.
What about Full Measure, when he actually when Mike's about to kill him and he calls Jesse, he's like, "Do it now! Call him! Do it! You gotta go do it now!" And Mike's like, "What the hell was that?" And he totally goes gangster on him. He's like, "You might want to back off." And I was like,
"You're gonna need me. Your boss is gonna need me."
He reads off the
5363 Wantabo.
That was cool.
Apartment 6. I was like, I peed my pants. It was awesome.
I know.
I had to clean it up.
Bryan Cranston can add some gravity to a line like nobody I know.
Yeah,
dude. You know what would be awesome?
What?
If they did a Malcolm in the Middle crossover where you find out he's lived a double life, and the Hal from Malcolm in the Middle was his other family.
Yeah, there you go.
And you find out that Malcolm is on meth because he was cooking it and he goes through like an existential crisis and regrets everything because he got his other son hooked on his own
Hooked
product.
on it. Oh no. That's true, and I think he has ruined Malcolm in the Middle for me.
You can take that to the bank.
I will. Who can forget the box cutter episode too, where he just slits that guy's throat? Holy crap! And then of course the death of Gus.
Yeah.
That to me, that's the biggest thing so far.
Mm-hmm.
That's one where like my heart was racing and I had to stand up and like I never get like I'm pretty desensitized to violence, but that was messed up. Seeing half that guy's face blown off, I was like, oh my god.
See,
I just get a queasy feeling.
I kind of wish I had seen that one live because I had the opportunity to pause Netflix, turn and look at Caitlin, my girlfriend, and just go like, oh, and then rewind it and watch it again.
Yeah. I saw that junk live, and I was like, I was just dying inside. I was like, I love Gus. No. But you totally know it was coming. That epic moment when he's like walking into the nursing home or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like slow motion and like some like crazy like spaghetti western music playing, and it's like, oh snap, something's about to go down.
Yeah. And then the that bodyguard, like the new bodyguard, the black guy who got to speak like 2 lines before he died 4 episodes later.
I know. But yeah.
Anyway, Hooper, bring something.
What else have we got?
Should we move past Breaking Bad?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think we're all really excited about the show, and it's a masterpiece, and I can't wait to see how it ends. And I really know I won't be disappointed. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's great. I just have some film stories that I've pulled up. I'm actually putting the tabs. I think I have like 6 of them or something.
Okay.
Well, the first one concerns Transformers 4, and that it's going to feature new robot characters in an effort to boost toy sales.
I was going to say, do you know why they're doing that? Hasbro wants monies.
Right.
Okay. I probably won't see the movie because the third one was the. Are they ever going to make or allow Bumblebee to speak?
No.
I bet you they don't.
Like, there's no reason.
Because in Michael Bay's mind, it's just too funny to pass up have him speak through references. A bunch of stuff that wouldn't even be in a car radio. Like, why was Forrest Gump playing in a car radio? Like, on a stage? Is this one station like, man, we have like 2 hours of music we have to fill. Well, God, there's only so much music out there. Let's just put Forrest Gump in instead. Let's all go piss for 2 hours. You know what I mean?
If I had a radio station, I would just play clips of Forrest Gump. Don't judge me.
Right, but I was just thinking there, he said something, I can't remember what line it was, but I was just like, what? Wait, was that Forrest Gump? What?
But also keep in mind, at the end of the first one, Bumblebee talked.
Yeah.
He
I choose
looked
to stay with the
right
boy.
at Optimus and said, I want to stay with the boy. And then in the second one, they're like, oh, his voice is still messed up.
Wait,
and I'm like, no, it's not.
Wasn't that a clip from something, though?
No,
they fixed him. Like, Ratchet fixed him.
Ratchet fixes him, and he's like, I wonder where Bumblebee's gonna go. And then Bumblebee's like, I want to stay with the boy. And so he's like,
you just made him sound like such a creeper.
Well, he is.
I want to stay with the boy.
I want to stay with the boy.
Watch him change.
I want him inside me.
Oh!
In car mode, I'm sorry.
Oh.
but yeah, so that junk is so stupid. I hate Michael Bay. I hate those movies with a passion. I will not be seeing Transformers 4.
Don't tell John.
Transformers.
He doesn't want to see it either.
I was going to say, John's kind of done with it, too.
Nah.
Yeah.
It ran its course.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like a freaking food sickness.
Although I hear that new video game is good.
But that's unrelated.
I know. It's because Michael Bay didn't have his grubby little fingers in it.
If he so much as like ventured into the game development studio, there would have just been this dark cloud over it, and then like all of a sudden, the game would have just like imploded, and you would have been like piloting around a bunch of like exploding titties, and and that would have been the game.
Exactly. Which is exactly what the new Ninja Turtles movie was going to be.
Dude,
Exploding titties?
I want to.
Yes.
I want to go to a Michael Bay birthday bash. I bet it's awesome.
I bet it is. I bet at the beginning you're like, oh, this concept is really cool, and then at the end you want to kill yourself.
That's true. Can you imagine playing a Michael Bay video game, like a Transformers video game, actually like, creatively overseen by him? I would just be like you know how in video games where like the characters have like a few catchphrases, and depending on what you're doing, they'll spout them out. But after a while, like if you're playing Spider-Man 2, Doc Ock will like grab you and hit you, and he'll keep saying like, "I'm getting tired of this." And after a while, you're like, "I'm getting tired of this. Stop saying that line." Imagine all those lines just being, "Hey man, come on, we gotta get the Optimus, gotta get the Q." It's like, oh God, stop. It's just like the movie, but worse. There's like even less and more frequent repeated dialogue.
Yeah, and every time you die, you have to hear it again.
Yeah. Until you actually die.
The best motivator to not die in a video game ever.
Or the highest, like the suicide rate would just shoot up.
Skyrocket, yeah.
Yeah. The Wreck-It Ralph posters, I just saw these for the first time, these new ones. I didn't know Sonic was in it.
He is.
It's awesome.
Yeah. But you know what I heard?
What?
Mario and Luigi won't be in it.
Do you know why?
Yeah, they want too much monies.
Yeah.
But Bowser's in it, so that's cool.
Yeah, he's in the Villains Club or whatever. But I actually read that. I know, no offense to you, Dustin, as a Sonic fan. I actually read that their original idea called for Mario being the protagonist that he wants to live up to.
Yeah.
But they ended up using Sonic because he was cheaper and more accessible. Sega.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Like he plays the character that Wreck-It Ralph is apparently supposed to be like, oh, he's awesome and everybody loves him kind of guy.
Yeah. I think it goes kind of into this weird like territory where Sega really wanted Sonic in the movie because it would help with his brand identity and help get him, in front of kids again. But Wreck-It Ralph is getting like this weird payoff in that the new Sonic like racing game is going to have Wreck-It Ralph as a playable character. Whoa. And so it's like some weird like it's you meta. Help us and we'll help you kind of thing, and it's really weird. But yeah, I think it probably would have worked better with Mario instead of Sonic, considering to be quite honest, Sonic's recent reputation is not desirable. But
yeah, he would have been the guy like giving handjobs in the back alley or something in Wreck-It Ralph
so
land.
Sad. Don't say that. No. He would be the one. He would be like basically, like when an actor is like has a failing career, so they start appearing on like television shows to like boost their popularity. That would be Sonic.
Or in movies.
But I think it also plays towards. I heard the president of Sega or whatever talking about Sonic and saying they want Sonic in the 90s. Sonic, like they did like this poll or whatever, and they found that Sonic was more recognizable to children than Mickey Mouse, and they want that level of popularity again. And I guess they're realizing like, crap, we can't do it through games. Let's do it any way we can. And so they're like putting him in this movie. And meanwhile, there's no new game in development that I'm aware of for Sonic,
other than the racing one.
Yeah, which may be a good thing because, criminy if he doesn't need some time off. And I mean, I could design a better Sonic game if I was deaf, blind, mute, and dying. I'll tell you this much. I've always been looking forward to Wreck-It Ralph, and I'm kind of looking forward to it more now. But I think from a story perspective, I'd have rather seen Mario in that role. But as a Sonic fan, I'm also glad.
Yeah.
Remember when he was in that weird Progressive commercial?
Well, yeah, that was weird.
That was
really weird.
I still have no idea what that was about. I guess maybe like Flo is like a huge fan of Sonic, and she's like, "Let's have him in a commercial," and they were like, "Okay." I have no idea.
Because she's the creative force behind it.
Yeah, because
she
Flo has that much pull now. She's like, "Yeah, I'm Flo, and now I run
I'm the
this
brand
shit.
for the yeah."
They'd be like, "But we didn't tell you, Flo. Is it you're replaceable?"
all we need is a random girl and put that big wig on her, and that's it.
They love you now, but they'll forget about you tomorrow.
She's like the Verizon guy, the "Can you hear me now" guy.
Oh yeah.
I wonder where that guy's at now.
He's actually in that desert from the commercial. Can you hear me now? Oh God, seriously, where's my car?
Please,
no.
Can anyone hear me? Oh God.
Can you hear? Or he's just talking to himself in the desert. Can you hear me now? Good.
He's in a mental institution in a straitjacket saying that line over and over. That's all he knows how to say.
The next piece of news is Melissa McCarthy is going to join the cast of The Hangover 3. Does this make you any more likely to see it?
Wait, who?
She's the chick from she's the fat chick from Bridesmaids.
I never saw Bridesmaids.
Really? I mean, I like the movie, but like, she's gonna get typecast so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is.
Well, here's what I think. Actually, I abhor the second movie. I really don't like it. I'd rather watch I don't know, other things. I don't like it. I think it's an abomination. It's just, we've talked extensively why we don't like it. I believe we did on the last episode that you were on, Kellen, actually.
Perhaps.
I will admit, it does make me a little more likely to see this. Here's why, though. Because I would think that they're pairing her up with Zach Galifianakis, because I remember talking about how
his girlfriend.
Yeah, like whoever he's going to get married to, or just his love interest, basically. I can see in the two of them being like equally like, you know, retarded, you know, people. I can actually see their chemistry being really funny to watch. I'm not excited for the movie as a whole because I don't like what the franchise is doing. I don't like the laziness that's going into these movies. But I will admit it does make me a little more interested in it because I like Zach Gal. I like everyone involved in the movie. I just did not like how the second one turned out. I like her. I think she's talented. I agree, Kellen. I think that if she keeps it up, though, she's going to get typecast. But right now she's getting while the getting's good, and I think that watching her and Zach Galifianakis sort of just play off each other could actually be a really funny thing and add something kind of new to the mix in the way that, you know, I think it's weird because they added a new character in that second movie, but at the same time they didn't. Like, he was there, but then he spent the whole movie in an elevator. So maybe
Spoiler,
if they fuck that movie, I'll spoil it or whatever.
I'll say this much. I wouldn't see The Hangover Part 3 unless they announced Bryan Cranston, James Gandolfini, Captain America, and 7 Ewoks were in it. And then I would go see it.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, God. That
maybe not even then.
That just reminded me. You said Bryan Cranston. We talked about Breaking Bad for so long, and that didn't remind me of it at all. But I saw Total Recall as well.
Just did you?
Out there. Yeah.
I didn't go see that. Was it good?
I give it like a C+.
Okay.
B-.
I'll rent it when it comes out.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just kind of like generic sci-fi
Middle
schlock.
of the road, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, next news story.
The Looney Tunes is being rebooted for feature film, and it's going to be written by Jenny Slate, formerly of SNL. Do you remember
Here's
her?
what I say to that.
Me neither. What?
Oh, crap.
Was that a real fart from one of you, or is that...
No, I can't fart on command.
Well,
Hey,
okay.
is it going to be one of those live-action CGI thing?
Unless it's got Michael Jordan in it, I don't care.
I don't even care if it does.
Oh.
Here's what they should do. And I'm just throwing this out there. Writers, feel free to use this. If you're listening to this and you want to write a Looney Tunes movie, this is free. I'm giving this to you. Looney Tunes characters go on an adventure with no humans. And then you have a movie. And Brendan Fraser isn't there. That's how you make the movie good.
Bring back the Monstars as well.
No.
Yeah.
Screw the Monstars.
No.
No connections. No connections to those movies.
Why are you hating on Space Jam?
I love Space Jam. I love Space Jam. I don't want to see a sequel to it. It was
What
very
about-
90s.
was-
I want a true Looney Tunes movie where Daffy and Bugs go on a road trip or do something with the Wile E.
With Brendan
Coyote
Fraser.
and Sylvester Stallone. I mean, but that's what I want.
Hey, your bug's deaf. You're gonna.
You have to give him the list like Sylvester, though.
You're
despicable.
Hey, I
thought I saw a former action star. I did.
Yeah. Just.
I love how he's got an
I have
action
nothing
movie out right now, and you call him a former action star.
Shut up, Kellen. I forgot about the Expendables 2. He was former. He is still, but he was former too.
That negates the definition of former.
That was like a triple negative, yo.
You're a triple negative.
Oh.
Yo, Jesse Pinkman.
What the hell was that? Are you in the haunted house? This next article, I didn't really read it, but it says Siri becomes a film geek with iOS 6. Don't know what it actually can do. I should probably have read that so I could say more than just the title of the article.
It's probably just like, Siri, tell me about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, and then it'll be like, Indiana Jones is 104 minutes, and it is PG-13.
Wow, you're a film buff.
Hey, you know a lot about film, Siri.
Will you have sex with me?
Thank you, sir.
No, I will not. Well, I will try, but I don't know how I'll be.
Are not compatible.
Our parts are not compatible. Well, Sarah, would you try and have sex with me as well? Batman.
Was that Bane?
Yes, it was.
Where's Siri?
Would you like me to have sex with you? Of course! Okay.
Dude, Batman should have Siri like on his utility belt.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "Where's the trigger?" And it'll be like, "The trigger is 4 miles away."
No, it would be like, I don't understand.
What are you saying, sir?
This article...
Call Alfred! Call Alfred! I'm dying!
Not to go like months back about that movie, but the friends that I saw it with, my friend Mike is a huge Batman fan, and given, granted he was a little drunk off of the pitcher of beer from the Alamo Draft House, but like he's a huge Batman fan. But like as soon as he was like yelling out, "Where's the trigger? Where's the trigger?" he started like cracking up, and I was like, "Oh, that's definitely something that should have been fixed."
I also cracked up at that. I thought that was hilarious.
It was like they played into the internet parodies that came out after the Dark Knight.
They really did. Have you guys seen Psycho?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay. Well, then I'll try not to spoil it. But they're doing a television prequel, like a TV show prequel to that movie, which I couldn't care less about, and I don't know why they're doing it. But it stars Vera Farmiga. I guess she's going to make a move to TV. And then the guy that's playing young Norman Bates in the movie is Freddie Highmore.
Weird.
Yeah, I think the whole thing sounds really weird. I'll probably give it a shot, but like Hitchcock, like, to me, is kind of untouchable, and I think it's kind of weird to make a prequel show on that thing. And it's also one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Hitchcock movie. So I'm really like torn by it, because on one hand, like, I like Vera Farmiga, and I think that she can really pull off this role, and I'm kind of interested in how she's going to play this character. But I'm just so like, why does this even exist? That's like they're also doing a prequel show to Hannibal Lecter. And I'm like, why? Why are we doing all of these shows now? And they're rebooting The Munsters, and they're rebooting Brady Bunch. And
what? No one even knows what the Munsters are. Wait, the Brady Bunch?
Yeah. It's a reboot / sequel. It focuses on... do you remember the youngest boy in the Brady Bunch? What was his name? Bobby?
Yeah.
It focuses on Bobby's character. And so, like, Bobby is grown up, and he has a couple kids, I guess his wife is dead or something, and so then he marries this other woman, and she has a few kids, and they have their own Brady Bunch.
Wait. So this is what's his name? The one who's married to Adrian Curry.
No, that's Peter, but it won't be played by the original people. It's like it's like a sequel / reboot, so it's like a new Brady Bunch, but it stars.
That's the perfect definition of a financially fueled show. It's a sequel, but it's also a reboot, but it's neither. So I guess it's just it's brand recognition.
Yes. No, but I guess it is a sequel. I mean, it's one of the kids growing up and having his own family, but like it's also a reboot because he has a Brady Bunch situation with his own family.
It's the movie equivalent of a direct-to-DVD sequel. It's like, not only was this not needed,
nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted it. Oh, and not even the original actors. You had to recast like a main role.
Yeah,
like it's Bobby Brady, but it's not the original Bobby Brady.
Yeah, exactly.
Which to be honest, it'd be sadder if it was.
Yeah, true. You know what I think that guy's doing now? I think he's a cameraman.
Good.
For like the news or something.
Oh.
Which is it's a profession, but like, yeah, weird. But what do you what's with all these shows now pulling from brands like that, like Psycho and Hannibal and Brady Bunch and Munsters. They're
playing off the nostalgia.
Yeah, true.
It's just because they are sick of betting their money on original ideas, which I don't understand. Because there was an infographic on Slash Film that actually illustrated Hollywood's deteriorating creativity, and it had like the top 10 grossing movies of like each decade, like the 70s, 80s, 90s, and the last 12 years, and it was in the 70s, like it was almost all original ideas and stuff, a couple of adaptations like Jaws, and then you move forward, and then for last year it was like every single one of them was a sequel
or an adaptation.
Yes, a sequel or a remake.
Yeah,
and it's just like there's original ideas, but they get so much less attention because it's always been a business, but it's almost weird that suddenly it is just a business. It's almost like they realized like, hey, right now our main job is just to make money and to invest our money well. And I will agree from a business standpoint, investing in something that is more likely to return your investment is, obviously like it's like a no-brainer. So of course they're going to bank money on, a fourth Transformers movie rather than, greenlight, 8 independent movies that are all original screenplays and all, like they're more likely to make those than movies like Looper, which, I'm amazed that got made because it's an original idea and it's mind-blowing. So it makes me wonder like, how did it get made? Because the system, it's almost engineered to discourage original thought.
Well, that's very true. And they were talking about this on the Emmy panel with Vince Gilligan too. They said it's almost like, in a way, we bring it on ourselves. At this point, movies are $10 a piece or more to go see. So of course you're going to limit yourself to what you go see. And I know for me, looking forward, there are movies I want to see, but most of them I'm going to wait for. But, like the big ones, The Hobbit and, Skyfall, I'll go see in theaters.
Yeah.
But what I just said, they're both adaptations. And if you think about the other big ones this year, you have The Avengers, you have The Dark Knight Rises. I saw those. Every now and then you'll get a movie like The Grey or whatever, and I went to see that. But I think the point I'm trying to make is, to an extent, we have no one to blame but ourselves. And Hollywood's always been about money.
Yeah.
But these days, whether it's because of the economy or just the price gouging at the box office, people are seeing less movies, and the only ones they're trying to, that they make sure they see are the big ones. So in Hollywood's eyes, the little movies aren't making money, and so in a sense, we have no one to blame but ourselves. And what they were talking about in the Emmy panel is, That's why television now has so many good ideas on it at this particular point. I mean, yeah, there's, like I just said, there's all of these like crazy like brand recognition shows coming out, but there still is stuff like Parks and Recreation and stuff like Breaking Bad and Mad Men and all of that kind of stuff. And it's because the people that wanted to make movies were almost forced to television because the movies, they couldn't make them. Hollywood didn't want to say, to Vince Gilligan, yeah, we'll make this movie. Not that he took it to the big studios or anything, but if he had, they probably would have turned him down. Or said, you got to put someone like Nick Cage in the lead role so that we can make money. And so I think to an extent we have no one to blame but ourselves, but also Hollywood ought to have more faith in original ideas sometimes, because there are massive exceptions. Look at Avatar. I mean, there's no reason why that should have made as much money as it did. Mm-hmm. The story was not revolutionary. Sure, it had great visual effects, but were the people that went to see it really going to see it for the visual effects? Or were they seeing it because their friends said it was good? There was no reason for that to make that much money. And, and so there are massive exceptions like that. But anyway, I think Hollywood's very, very much in a corner right now because it's all about how can we make sure we're making our money back. And it's always been that way, but now more than ever, I think it's our fault.
And it's sad too because, it's like I said earlier this year. Like I have to limit my movie going because of money, and so of course it's like, well, what do I really want to see? And it's you want to see the movies everyone's going to talk about. You want to see Skyfall, The Hobbit. It's almost like you want to support the original movies, but it's like, well, if I could do that, then I could afford a lot of other things. I don't have the kind of money to just go around and go see every small movie. Like, I want to see this movie, Sinister. And I'm terrified of horror movies, by the way. But this local guy in Austin, actually, him and this other guy wrote it. And the one guy was a film critic for Ain't It Cool News and Spill and everything. And I follow him on Twitter, and I've, sent him, we had a couple back and forth emails. I want to see the movie because I want to support him and I want to support original thinking like that. But it's just not one of the movies I'll end up going to see this year, sadly, because I just can't afford it, and it's just not on the top of my list, And
right. I'd like to go see Smashed, but there are other things I need to see, first.
Right. It's just for some reason if I don't see Skyfall, it's one of those things where I'll be like, that would have been a good thing to see in theaters,
Right.
Instead of waiting to see it at home, Yeah. It is too bad,
Yeah.
Sometimes, but well, that's probably all the time we have for this episode.
Yeah.
We were able to go a little longer today, so it's cool. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
No problem.
Thanks for having me.
Yes. Say thank you, Kellen. I'm just kidding.
I was going to let Dustin's stand for me as well.
Oh, okay. First you don't want to be here, and now you don't say thank you. I'm kidding.
Kellen, you're so rude.
Anyway, well, we should do this again. I like having three people on. It's obviously a chore, but if we could do this a little more often, that'd be a little fun.
Well, now that I found a easy enough means of being able to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. For all of you listening at home, we spent a good part of.
Oh yeah, we spent an entire
hour
just trying to get the microphones to work.
No, it was more along the lines of tricking my computer into not sucking.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, true.
It was insane. So yeah, Looper comes out on the 28th. Perhaps we can talk about that. If not, what I definitely want to do long term is I want to do when Breaking Bad ends. This all depends on what my parameters are once I'm married. But when Breaking Bad ends, I would like to do a series episode on Breaking Bad, and I want to have it at least with the three of us.
Cool.
You better keep doing these after you're married, Hooper.
I'll try. They'll obviously be less frequent, but I'll see what I can do.
Can't lose touch with the HooperCast.
I'll see what I can do.
Dustin will take over, but he's no Hooper.
It's really.
I know.
Oh, also, I wanted to let you guys know.
Yes.
If I have free time at any point coming up, I would like to end up doing that illustration for you.
Oh. Yes.
I won't say anything right now as far as my ideas go, but it would involve 2 caricatures of you, in like a banner or something like that.
Nice. Well, I mean, I appreciate it being done. Period. So, I mean, thanks. You can do whatever you want. I mean, the fact that you're even doing it is.
You guys are just gonna have to deal with the quirky character designs that I might come up with.
Sure thing.
Make my hair blue.
No.
Give me
don't.
give me a really
That would
good
be weird.
give me a really good beard. Just make sure you really nail it on my beard. Make it better than the one I actually have.
Don't say nail it on my beard.
Nail my beard.
No.
Gross.
Nail it.
Okay.
Okay. Well.
Outro.
This
Anyways.
got weird.
Well. Yep. I'll just that'll be it. All
Okay.
right, well, until next time. Thanks for coming on, and everyone, stay tuned for future episodes.
You need a cool sign off thing like "Stay hoopin" or something.
Stay-
You know what I mean? Like
Stay hooping.
until next time. Until next time. Don't quit hooping.
It should just be all hell Gorp.
You should say thanks for hanging with Hooper. Wasn't that a show?
Hanging with Mr. Cooper was this show.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Thanks for hanging with Mr. Hooper.
There you go.
I like stay hooping.
that.
Stay
Doesn't make any
hooping.
sense.
Stay.
You don't make sense.
We could do Mother from Jaws or whatever it was. That sounded
Yeah.
really creepy.
That sounded really. He sounded like a mouse laughing.
I like thanks for hanging with Mr. Hooper.
Well, we clearly have 3 opposing ideas here, but what
mine's right.
I like all hell Gorp too.
all hell Gorp with Dustin came up with that.
I'm not in on this inside joke.
All hell Gorp.
All hell
Yes.
Gorp. Oh, we have to give our alien shout outs, Hooper.
Oh,
Shout out to Fleenox.
what system is he in, Dustin? Tell me.
Well, shout out to Fleenox, our avid viewer from the from the Betopia galaxy, and to Spork from the Tacobelius galaxy.
No.
What?
I don't know, something about Fleenox and Spork.
Fleenox.
Our avid listeners.
Such a
I wonder if Spork knows he's named after an odd utensil.
He's been around for millennia. The utensil is named after Spork. Spork came to Earth and he was like, "You need a utensil to pick up things and also scoop things." And they said, "We'll name it after you, Spork. All hail Spork." And then Spork left.
How come your alien voice was the same as your creepy pedophile voice from earlier?
Well, we don't like to talk about what Spork does in his free time.
That is what Spork is best known for.
Spork and kids, or Spork?
And maybe Spork sounds like this. "Hello there. My name is Spork. I have 100 Earth dollars, and I would like to buy the box set of The Shield."
It sounds like a little bit of helium. Well, I should have said that second. It sounds like like elderly Orson Welles with like a little bit of helium.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Well, this would be a good thing. Let's take this balloon. Hold on. Oh, I sound different. This is good. Taco Bell.
I like Fleenox the best, though.
Yeah, we'll stick with Fleenox.
Fleenox has never visited Earth, but he's a long-time listener.
Well, anyway, yes. Well, shout out to Fleenox. You win our raffle, which is you win nothing. So congratulations.
You win a jacket, handmade, with love in the stitches. We will send it to your galaxy.
Just write in.
Post-haste.
Post haste. Actually, Fleenox can do what all the other viewers can do, which is if you have a comment about the show, including, hey, show sucks, you can send it to HooperCast@gmail.com. The podcast literally does have an email address, so send it to that. Fleenox, send us your address. We'll send you your jacket.
Dude, I'm going to send you so much spam. You don't even know.
Don't send me spam.
Should have told me that.
I'll have to kill you now, Kellen.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Anyway, everyone, stay hooping.
Okay, and I'm going now.
Alright, goodbye. Anyway, that's the show. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do actually have an idea for a cool sign-off we could do, not even a cool one, if you have like a really shitty sign-off you'd like us to do, seriously email us at hoopercast@gmail.com, because it'd be really cool to know y'all's suggestions, and if someone actually comes up with, a good sign-off for the podcast, I'll seriously use it forever. I'll even credit you. How about that? That's good. I should do that, shouldn't I? I should credit you. Thanks for listening to the episode, and stay tuned for a little piece of the remaining recording, which is something I like to call Frog Bane. Enjoy it, please. Oh, and also a big shout out to Michael Grayson. Hello, Michael.
And that's the way the Hooper crumbles.
And that's the way,
That's the way.
I like it. Everybody stay hooping, Batman.
You sound like a frog, Hooper.
Ribbit, Batman. When I have left the lily pad, you have my permission to die. Alright. Is it just me? Am I the only one recording still?
No, I'm still recording.
Okay. Oh. Okay, I'll stop.